lovely people, welcome to the video. My name's Athena. I'm a writer working on my first book whilst homeschooling my two girls and me with them 24/7. Draft 4 is done. Okay. Let's talk a bit about the book very quickly for anyone who has no idea what I'm talking about before we dive into the fact that I finished draft 4 of my book. I am writing a fantasy romance. I am currently in the phase of trying to figure out a bunch of things, and I'm trying to test out what my book is about, like pitch lines and whatnot. Haven't really worked out anything yet. I think the best right now is an orphaned girl with no memories but her name is striving to earn her place in the family that raised her, but all hell breaks loose. You know. Anyway, moving on with that. Draft 4 is done. I have been working on draft 4, which has been basically revisions. So I revised draft 3. Draft 4 is complete. It is a completely revised story. I love it. There are a few little things that I already know I want to change, but it has been sent off to beta readers, so I cannot touch it. Now, some little facts before we kind of dive into the beta reading part of it. It took me 2 months to finish. I finished it 2 days ago. Today is the 24th of October. I finished it on the 22nd of October. It took me 2 months. I started on the 20th of August and finished, as I said, on the 22nd. My initial goal had been to finish it at the end of September. And honestly, if I had not gotten incredibly sick and pretty much got zero work done for at least 15 days out of 30 in September, I probably would have met that goal. That is fine. It does not matter anymore. I finished draft 4. I swear, the moment I finished it, I just kind of sat there. And I even had to give myself 2 days before I filmed this video because I was just like, I finished draft 4. I did it. I did it. Because revisions just, in reality, revisions flew by. Because I think, so draft 2 and draft 3 were full rewrites. And especially draft 3 took me forever. They both took forever, really. It was so, I think after a point, they just started really dragging and and things kept happening, and draft 4 is done. And now, where do we go from here? I have to admit, I feel extremely unmoored right now. Like, I need an anchor. What am I working on? What am I doing? I sent off my book to beta readers. I have decided to go with paid beta readers, but I will be making a separate video on that, talking about the experience, how I found them, all that fun stuff. I decided to go with paid beta readers because I do not have the patience to wait on people. I need to know, like, there's a finish date. I need to know when that will happen. I need to have a certain, and a guarantee of specific information, because I did give my previous draft to some people and I didn't really get much in return, like if anything. I mean, I got like very basic stuff, it was not what I need at this stage, and I needed people who are actually gonna, So we'll talk about that in a separate video. So right now I am waiting on beta readers' feedback. That feedback will not be coming back until the, let's say 10th, because like one is like a bit sooner, the other later, early in November, okay? So right now, it is the 24th. I have at least a week or two of just not being able to do anything as far as the manuscript is concerned, because I'm not touching it until I get feedback. So once I get the feedback, we're gonna do a whole other video talking about how I'm gonna go about that. But the idea is I'm not gonna print out a draft. Usually what I do when I finish a draft is I print out a whole paper version of it, so I can read it, so I can whatnot. I'm not gonna do any of that until I get my feedback from my beta readers. So that's a whole other ball game. That's a very different thing to what I'm used to up to this point, and it is driving me insane. Now, I had said that when I finished draft 4, I was going to go either way between either a new project or the query letter. I'm gonna be working on my query letter. I decided I'm gonna work my query letter because I realized that the query letter will help me find any holes in my work, find any holes in my story. It'll kind of all work together, and I feel like at this point that's what I really want to do. I don't want to dive into a new project and kind of lose myself in that, because I really go in, and I don't think that's what I want to do right now. So, and especially considering my feedback will be coming back in early November, like it'll be coming back sooner because I just sent it off right now. So I don't think that's like starting a new project is viable or a good thing for me right now. So we are working on query letters. We're working on query letter prep. and synopses and taglines. And I will admit, I did start kind of brainstorming a little bit, kind of starting to work on my query letter this morning. I'm also trialing Word, as in Microsoft Word, because I noticed that a lot of, all basically, literary agents, etc., want Word documents. So I was like, I think I might need to start using Word, you know? So I'm working in Word and I'm brainstorming and kind of figuring out what to do with my query, basically. So I might do like a separate little video kind of talking about that, like how I'm going about setting up my query and all that fun stuff, because I know a lot of people are interested. I know I'm Googling, like I am going through YouTube right now, watching every query letter video there is. I'm just going nuts with the query research. I'm trying to find a way to sum up. Did I mention that I got my draft down to 130,000 words? I don't think I mentioned that. From 139.5 to 130, actually just shy of 130. It's like 129,000 something. I'm beyond proud of myself. Definitely, I think there's a room to definitely get it down a bit lower than that. And that's what I'm gonna be aiming for in the next draft. But again, waiting on feedback, can you tell that my brain is jumping all over the place? I feel like my writing project grounds me. I have an anchor and I know that this is what I'm working on, this project. And it's part of the reason why I decided to work on the query, because the query feels like an extension of that one project that I'm anchored to, rather than trying to get myself into another project. I feel like that will just cause more confusion and just have me like all over the place. So keeping this video nice and short, I'm working on the query letter. I am trialing Word. I'm waiting on beta reader feedback. And the next video is definitely going to be me talking about working on my query letter and all that kind of fun stuff. Once I have a clearer idea of exactly how I'm going about with my query letter, I think that's when I'll do an update for you guys. So today's Friday. Next week, definitely, we'll be talking a bit more about my query letter and how I'm, yeah. I'm gonna try, definitely. I know that my draft, I cannot speak today. I know that my query letter will go through multiple drafts because I know me and because it's just the way it goes. So I feel like it's a good project to sink my teeth into because it's still working on my project, on my fantasy, but it's kind of making sure all the parts are there and that I can actually show those up into a letter. Do you hear? Anyway, that is all for this video. It is an update. I am done with draft 4. I'm working on my query letter. I am just, okay. Fun times. I can't even. I'll see you guys in the next one.